question that I wrote to you was if I'm sending a cold email, and one thing that you said a minute ago was about the cold to sold email workflow, interested in
Mhm.
that. But it's going to be to people I don't know. I do not have a warm market. All the emails are going to be cold. I felt like it was going to make the most sense to do an email sequence to
Mhm.
reach these people because it's something they haven't heard of
Right.
and has not been available. If I'm sending these type of emails, do I have a concern that they would go to spam versus
Absolutely. A little bit, yes, but not because of video intrinsically. There's several
okay,
many different reasons for spam. This is a
okay.
really good question. So, okay, a couple of questions before the training video commences, which is this a local service offer or are you national or what is the ideal target here?
It is a national.
National, okay. And then what kind of volume are you looking at right now? Like are you because what I recommend for something national is you can't do all one-off outreaches. Like you can't make everything like a 5 minute. You can't take more than 10 minutes per opportunity, right? Because then
Agree.
your volume never gets where it needs to be. So given that it's national, I mentioned this in prior trainings too, which is I kind of recommend a hybrid approach where we're going to take and just like mentioned, the gentleman I just mentioned to about the consulting, we have to
Mhm.
try to niche at least within our messaging. So instead
Okay.
of sending an email to HVAC companies in every state and every city and every vocation and every, let's start with really targeted, right? Like HVAC companies of a certain size, of a certain location, maybe of what are some other factors for HVAC that would make a really meaningful type of outreach? Maybe that maybe there's a way that what's the service again? Is it you don't
It's
have to, I know it's kind of new, so I don't have to share all the
yeah,
things, but
it's to deal with cleaning AC systems.
okay, perfect. So it's complementary to their thing. So then
Yes, it's
um
nothing. They're not changing anything that they're
yeah, no,
already
no,
doing.
it's perfect. So then the matter is if I said, hey, everybody in HVAC versus I work with HVAC owners in the state or in the city of whatever to accomplish this result, the subject line, the body, the video message, it's all much more specific and stronger.
Okay.
So that's the first thing I would recommend for you is to segment your audiences, your targeting. You don't have to segment your service, right? It works for anybody. So start with that. And then I would also start with something just a little bit more broad. And the hybrid approach is this too. The one-off might work perfectly. The one-on-ones, I mean, and this is where something like that would look like. Let's just say if it was them, I'm going to go to their website. By the way, these big guys would probably be hard. I probably wouldn't start there, right? I would start with a smaller market where you can get to the decision makers. Also, something I recommend given your offer and it's newer, right? Because
Yes.
big corporate things are usually harder. There's red tape. There's longer sales cycles. But with small businesses, you can get straight to decision makers. So that's why I was saying start with a certain market size. And then from here, it might look something like this, where I can create a little video and I would record my screen and I would do my pitch, right? I usually use the desktop app. So I'm going to do this. And then I turn my little bubble and I'm going to say, hey, it's Darius, and I was checking out your guys' site, and I saw that you actually don't have this type of service that you offer here in your services. I'm not sure if you're aware, but this is a purely complimentary thing, and I've created a quick video that comes right after this that explains exactly how we're helping HVAC companies in Sacramento explode their revenue by providing a complimentary service with no additional work. Sounds too good to be true, right? Check this out. And that's it, right? That's the whole recording, 30 seconds or
Well,
so.
that's brilliant.
So
Okay.
this is the custom approach that I would recommend. The
Hmm.
other approach that I would recommend is something less specific where we don't have their website pulled up, right? It's maybe like some local competitors, like the biggest ones in their state, where it's
Yeah.
several that they're going to recognize, not their personal one, but just several they might recognize, like a little PowerPoint slide with a few of their competitors' brands there. And then you do the same thing. So it's not their personal, but it's several of the competitors, and you're
Yeah.
on top of it, and you'd say, hey, and instead of first name, right? It's not, hey, John, business owner. It's like, hey there, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Darius, and I work with brands like these to explode their growth and their revenue without them lifting an additional finger with a complimentary service you've probably never heard of. I produced a short video on my team, and it comes right after this, and you're going to see exactly why companies like this are growing their revenue without more hires, without more overhead. It's unbelievable. Sounds too good to be true, but you're going to see that it is very real, very true. And in fact, you can schedule a time with me to talk about what this looks like in your business right below this. read some reviews from other happy clients we're working with already. Can't wait to speak with you. Thanks again. And that would be your one to many. And you send that
Yes.
via email, text. Well, don't Twilio online mass text message people unless you have opt-ins. Email is fine. You can cold email everybody. Don't mass text message business to business leads without opt-ins. LinkedIn's okay. Facebook's okay. Flyer behind, like you can take this video, print it on a QR code or a business flyer, like a leave behind, and leave behind physical businesses as well. Because I know sometimes if you start locally, you have that extra edge, like I can come in your business and talk to you about this just to help build some trust and FaceTime, right? In the beginning. So that's why I recommend maybe a hybrid approach of one to many like this, the one to one, and then even like a physical combination of some things, because you never know what's going to get through until you split test a little bit. And for watching that, again, it depends on your budget, right? Email is essentially free. Text messaging is the next kind of lowest overhead, but requires opt-in for businesses. And then physical leave behind mail, obviously the most expensive, but it's a resurgence. There's a resurgence, but it's not for every industry, right? Like some business owners aren't checking their physical mail. If it's a big enough company size, you'll never get the decision maker checking the mail. So anyway,
that was brilliant. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I need.
Perfect. And then
thank you.
Back to your original question is the risk of spam. And so here is the reality. There is any link in any image in any email has a higher risk of going to a promotion or spam folder compared to an email that contains text only. This is just a general rule of any email anywhere. So like my email signature is more likely to go to promotions or spam than anything. So that's the first thing. Now, the idea is there's a trade-off is adding my video here. Is that going to build trust or, especially in the one-to-many approach, is that going to be more effective than whatever I can write in plain text? Because this is a numbers game, right? It's like, can I get 90 plain text messages delivered versus 60 videos delivered? Well, which one's going to actually get me more responses? And unfortunately, the only data will tell the truth. But in our experience, video has been the far more effective method for all type of cold outreach. So that's the first rule there is just general. The second thing is what you'll see is when there's a video here, there are no attachments. There's no something like that. So it's far less likely to go to spam than like an email with a bunch of links and things like that in it. And a couple more rules, guys, really important for anybody sending cold email. Do not have more than one link in the email. Like if you have a video there, that should probably be the only link. You shouldn't have a link to the video, a link to another form, a link to another thing, a link to a calendar. Google, Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, they hate when there's a ton of links in an email. It looks like spam, it looks like salesy. So they send it to promotions or junk. So no tons of links. The second thing, certain language, free, the ultimate exclusive. Like if it sounds spammy or salesy, those words will actually trigger spam filters and promotion filters so that it goes to spam, it goes to promotions. Another thing, guys, like if you have seen these campaigns, like the big fancy email templates that everybody fell in love with at some point. These guys right here, these ones, sorry. Email templates like these down here. At some point, everyone fell in love with these, but I can tell you right now, they're not good for most people's businesses. 90+% of the time, they're going to end up in promotions. Unless it's a B2B email, they don't have promotions folder. If it's a consumer, this thing's going to promotions. Why? Because it looks like a promotion. The email service providers aren't dumb, right? They're reading every email. And this does not look like nothing, right? None of these templatized, high, heavy image, body, bunch of links and buttons and stuff. This does not look like I'm trying to talk to you. It does not look like I'm trying to have a conversation. It does not look like this is important for you. It looks like I'm just like, here's a bunch of information. It's a bunch. Here you go. Here's what's good. And the email service providers will send this to promotions immediately or send it to junk because people are going to stop opening those things because it doesn't look like you're trying to talk to them. So I don't actually recommend most people ever send these types of things. There's, again, nuance and caveats in every business and some reason or validation for sending something like that. But for most people, don't do it because it's going to go to promotions and it doesn't look like you're trying to talk to somebody. It looks like you're like talking at them, right? Versus like, hey, I want to have a conversation with you. So try the latter.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me ramble on there. I try to give as much value as I can. So